Hi, I'm Tim from SonicProgress.com. Here's 10 ways that musicians sabotage themselves when they're doing gigs. So we'll start with number 1, turning up on time. When you're playing gigs, it's just really important that you give out an image of being reliable and being professional. You're making the people around you, making the other people's jobs just that much easier. You might not think it's a big deal, but for the people that are around you, it really is. And if you can do it regularly, if you can be on time for your gigs, it will just set you apart. It'll elevate you above the other people that are doing gigs as well. And those people that are giving you those opportunities, they're going to notice this, and they're more likely to give you repeat gigs. So always be on time. Number 2. Not doing the sound check before you go on to perform. Yeah, so again, it's about professionalism. Make sure that you turn up early, you get yourself sound checked. You're doing it as much for the people that are employing you, for the people that are paying you, or for the team that's around you. You're doing it as much for them as you are for your audience, for when you go on and you perform and then you actually put out a good gig. Number 3, having a pre-planned set list. Now this is, it's a big deal if you can't, maybe, if you're doing a social gig where it's not so important, then, if it's an ad hoc gig, you can just play any old song and ask your audience. That's great. If it's not that though, and you're going to a venue and you're playing a gig, you need a pre-prepared set list. You need to know what you're playing, in what order, and when. And the reason for that is because it maximises your performance. It makes it just better if you know what you're doing. Number 4, not preparing by doing a sufficient amount of rehearsing. I've seen this as a big problem with quite a few musicians where they just think, oh, it'll be alright. I'm okay, it'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be alright, but the audience won't be wowed by you. The only way to impress your audience is to rehearse. The only way to make people really enjoy your gig is to put that sheen, that polish on it, and the only way that comes is with rehearsing. So you must rehearse. Number 5, not connecting with your audience when you're on the stage. When you're doing your performance, when you're in the song, get your audience involved, get them singing, get them dancing, just get them all riled up, just get them engaged. It makes a difference between a set that's just watching something and then, being part of it. You want to get your audience involved, to get them being a part of your gig. Number 6, having no encore. Assuming that you've done all the other steps, your audience are going to be, enjoying your gig. They're going to really like it. And when it comes to the end, they're going to be like, more, encore. And if you don't have one, then you're letting them down. You don't do that. Make sure that you've got a song that's pre-planned. It doesn't take much. Just when you create your set, just leave off one of the songs at the end, but still plan out the set, still rehearse the set, and just leave one song off at the end. If they ask for another one on top of that song, then you can go back and play one of your set list again. Number 7, not confirming if you're getting paid, how much and when. So if you're doing a paid gig, you want to be making sure before the gig that you're going to be getting paid, that it's not a free gig, and then also how much you're going to be getting paid. And preferably you want to be taking a small deposit or some kind of payment, maybe the full payment, before you actually go on and play. This is again about professionalism. If you command that from the person who's paying you, then they will respect you a lot more. Number 8, staying sober enough to play. Everybody has a few drinks, that's alright, but there's a few drinks and then there's a few too many. And that few too many is if it hampers your ability to properly perform. Now, having a couple, if that helps, then great. But if you have too many and you're falling all over, then you've got to be careful, because they might not You might not get booked again. Number 9, not handing out a clipboard for a mailing list. So at the end of your gig, at the end of your set, you want a clipboard with a page on it with email address and name. Okay, and you pass that around your crowd, you get them all to fill it in, and once you've collected all those up, then that's your list. You do this at every gig, you build up a giant list of potential fans, and then regularly you send them emails with offers and information to keep them engaged, to make them come back. And finally, number 10, not talking to your fans after the set is over. When you finish your set, this is a crucial golden opportunity to build up your fan base, to get people involved, to get feedback on what you're doing, massively important, that one, and just to realise and enjoy the fact that people have come here to see you. So I hope you have got something useful out of these 10 mistakes that musicians make at gigs. Don't make them, write them down, make sure that you get this stuff solid and organised. If you like these videos, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can check out my group on Facebook to get more help and tips, and you can check out my website at SonicProgress.com.